Hey, how's it going? It's your mystical tarot Katsumi here, and I've got a timeless love reading just for you. I trust the universe has guided you here right on time, so take what resonates and let the rest gently float away. Now let's hop in and see what's happening in your love life. Okay, so starting off, you have Four of Clubs. That's interesting to see. So it looks to be that there's some sort of recovery happening, some recuperation occurring in your love life at this time. I was also getting some sense that you've undertaken some sort of like, I don't know, I feel like you're on a mission, right? You're on a mission to find good relationships that serve you due to deception of the past or deception from past relationships overall. Okay. And you also have the Six of Hearts, which is all about you giving or receiving money, obtaining resources. So it definitely feels as though the universe is doubling back on just the idea of you gathering your resources. You're gathering your senses in terms of what it is you are trying to do within your love life, okay? And lastly, you have the King of Clubs, okay? And that's about being very creative, being very charismatic about things, all right? And it looks to be the universe wants to deliver you one more message, and that would be the Nine of Clubs. Something along the lines of you having a strong sense of endurance, diligence, and strength within your love life as well. So yeah, a lot of club energy there. Okay, so it looks to be that you're really just almost like gathering your senses, gathering your level of understanding from the past, especially with that Uthala energy, with that Uthala rune. It's really coming forth in a sense of just like being very rooted, traditional, having a, like almost going back to your heritage with certain things, with certain relationships, okay? And that might even put you in a sense of like wanting to take some time off, wanting to go on vacation, rejuvenate yourself, right? With that kite energy that we see here popping up. Yeah, so perhaps some of you are already on vacation, you're already enjoying yourself and almost like starting anew, starting a new journey, I'm feeling and sensing. Some of you are really being structured about this new journey, being very strategic, very almost like giving yourself compassion through inner strength. You have a strong sense of restraint and calm, very courageous. I'm getting strength vibes, Leo vibes, right? Leo energies for sure with that. But there's a lot of good fortune coming your way within your relationships, okay? And we have a sense of success. Yes, I was getting a sense of good fortune, and it's nice to see success popping up here, which is really good. And that's the astral house energy there, which is really beautiful to see. And whenever I see a sense of success, I think of that Aquarius vibe, that star energy in the major arcana, which is really you just healing, coming through in a sense of faith, renewal, dreams, and miracles in your love life and relationships, right? And that might even come forth with a little bit of the world, right? With that sense of completion there that I'm feeling right now. Ooh, yeah, and you also have Stork, news of a birth or a new business opportunity. So some of you might be giving birth, for those of you who resonate with that, or potentially just giving birth to new relationships in terms of you going out there, you really putting yourself in the forefront in terms of really saying, hey, I want a new relationship that's going to serve me, that's going to benefit my future family, something where it's like I'm getting a sense of you want harmony and balance in your relationships. You want someone that really comes forth with a sense of partnership, teamwork. You really feel that sense of collaboration and communication on both sides. And yeah, that's a strong sense of just like, I'm getting a strong sense of reciprocity. Giving and taking feels equal. It feels as though there's a sense of openness, right? And that connection is having a sense of mutuality, right? A sense of union. I'm feeling like Two of Cup vibes with that. A lot of emotion and heart within that connection there. A lot of water energy, right? Yeah. And then we also have a little bit of that Esau energy, right? You're going through some sense of pause, though. For some of you who are reflecting on the past due to some sense of isolation or control that you might have felt in a particular relationship, right? And that level of stillness was due to some sort of blockage occurring, right? You felt very isolated, or perhaps even like you couldn't necessarily do what it is that you wish to do, right? There was some sense of like, someone was being very stubborn, someone was being very unwilling to change in a relationship, which kind of puts you in this like isolated phase, right? This sense of control felt almost like burdensome and overwhelming, but it looks to be that you're taking it upon yourself to really reinvent this relationship, almost as if it's like a career, almost like it's like almost getting like you're thinking of it more of just like on a so much on like such a serious note that it feels like a career, right? For those of you who this resonates with, and perhaps maybe you are utilizing your career to almost like take you to new steps, new horizons in your relationships. Maybe there's a new relation popping up in your career. I'm feeling. I'm getting some sense of something to do with a potential career, whether you are working or maybe seeking a new job opportunity. Maybe there's something along the lines of that career that will be sparking a new sort of relationship, right? That's kind of like what I'm feeling and hearing and sensing. You also have the Uruz rune here, and that's really about you having a sense of strength, right? Sense of vitality. I'm getting raw power, courage, okay? You have stamina, instincts, almost like primal instincts, primal force popping up here, right? Yes, we're getting the tulip with that great passion, just doubling down on that energy there, which is just really emphasizing that you are coming forth in this like such a way that it's like you're almost like I got the sense like you're getting your get back, something along those lines. Maybe that's something you say, or maybe that's something you've heard, or but I'm just getting this idea of like you're coming back up. It's like it's almost like you're elevating in such a way that you're getting back at the things that put you in that isolation, put you in this frozen state with that Isa rune, right? That sense of restraint, right? You're not letting that take over who you are as an individual, right? Getting a strong sense of, there's like a sense of patience, right? Due to some sort of karma, right? That you've taken in from someone else's like incidences. Like I'm getting someone's karma rubbed off on you, like in a bad way, right? Like, but you're able to overcome these cycles and like have a sense of reward and fruition from it. I'm getting as well. Yes, overcoming it slights a choice. Yes, that's what I was getting a vibe of. You were overcoming some sort of slight, some sort of karma that someone placed upon you in some sort of relationship, right? It's almost like it's almost like undue justice due to association. And even if you're not like related to the situation, perhaps, or perhaps you are in terms of the like just being in a relationship with that person, or even like in a close proximity of this individual, this puts you in some sense of like having to overcome the obstacles that they placed in the path that you are traversing. I'm getting that sense. And you've had to take multiple choices as well, which really puts you in this very like decisive, right, mindset. This very I'm getting a sense that you had to be very decisive, very discerning with your actions, right? You had to use your intellect due to the truths and the conflicts that you've perceived, or you were in, almost like you were spectating, right? And perhaps some of you might have also witnessed it or even dealt with it due to certain individuals within a relationship. I'm sensing there. Yeah. And yeah, you're just using your determination, your certainty. You definitely got a strong sense of that, right? You're utilizing your intellect, right? You're being very strong. I'm getting a sense of something along the strength major arcana, that Leo vibes, being very courageous, very compassionate, utilizing your inner strength. I'm getting a sense with that sentinel card there, right? And then you're also going into new opportunities and growth within your relationship too. I'm getting a sense of like you are healing, okay? I'm getting a sense of feminine energy here as well, popping up. Something along the lines of motherhood, birth, and fertility as well. But that's really just emphasizing a sense of growth. Some of you may be bearing a child at this time, giving birth potentially in the near future, or even witnessing a birth of some kind. Something is birthing or coming into fruition for some of you as you traverse your path, okay? Yes, but there's that stubbornness and inflexibility from the past relationships that you've endured, and because of that, it's almost elevated you in this way. You have this sense of elevation, right? That eye chakra was closed due to that isolation, but it's also allowed you to elevate because eventually your eyes will open, that third eye chakra will open and almost like expose the instances that occurred as you were traversing this path forward towards your renewal, right? Towards the endings, towards the release, right? Towards these transformations that you're now like almost like going through this like rebirth, right? Getting that Scorpio vibe with that death energy and that I'm sensing with that major arcana vibe there. Yeah. And yeah, let's see what else we've got here. Yeah, you're going into a sense of generosity, right? A little bit of naivety, and you got some sense of Three of Cup vibe. So you are coming into some sort of relationship that is filled with joy, filled with friendship, okay? A sense of community, support, and gathering, okay? Got a lot of heart energy. So despite some of the grief and maybe abandonment and disappointment you might have felt in the past with some connections, you are walking into a good friendship, and that's really going to propel you forward, essentially. Some of you might even fall in love with this new friendship, this new sense of community, and that's really going to allow you to feel grounded. I'm getting a sense of rootedness, rooted. I'm getting the word needed, like you needed this in order to almost like feel enlightenment, in order to go through a new cycle. Yeah, I've got this word like need or new, something like that. Yep, and there was a missed opportunity in the past, something that you failed, something fear of failure, something that you've had a sense of fear of failure towards, okay? And that's really propelled you upward. It's almost like you went into a sense of limbo for a little bit, okay? It's almost like the universe had lost you for quite some time, or maybe you felt lost, perhaps, yeah? But now you have a sense of sure-footedness and predestination. You know what it is you want and where you want to go, and it just really requires that next step forward, okay? Let's see what other messages we have for you in the tarot. And yeah, I'm getting a sense that a lot of you are just really looking for the truth in things, looking for a sense of integrity within your relationships at this time. We're getting the Five of Cups energies. Yeah, there was definitely a sense of grief, loss and regret, perhaps a little bit of abandonment and disappointment. We're getting a lot of that within the connections of the past, okay? And you're just healing. You're going through that almost like introspection, right? You're reflecting, soul searching, utilizing your wisdom, definitely getting almost like Virgo energies with that almost like hermit vibe, you know, that I feel from this Five of Cups energy here. But you're going with the flow now. You're able to look and traverse through your path in a very like introspective way, very balanced way, okay? And almost in the sense of that it's a sense of fairness, of just understanding like, hey, this is my path going forward, and I know what it is I need to do to overcome it. And that's that past energy that we're seeing here. But let's check out what's happening in the current situation here for you. And yeah. Ooh, you have the Lovers popping up. That's interesting to see in a relationship love reading. And it's really just coming forward with that Gemini energy, that sense of union, okay? Sense of alignment, partnerships, and choice. Like, you have a strong sense of community coming in, if not already, in the near future, which is really nice to see. And it's something you've decided for yourself. You've chose to move forward in this direction. Yeah, I love to see that. It's very strong partnership vibes here. And it looks to be that many of you are manifesting new love life that is filled with a sense of partnership, filled with a sense of alignment and choice. Ooh, we have the Hierophant. And whenever I see the Hierophant, it's like it feels like a confirmation of some kind in my vibes, right? And also, this is also showcasing Taurus energy, right? That Taurus energy is like having a strong sense of tradition and belief and just teaching and guidance, right? A strong sense of spirituality. I also feel that with like the High Priestess, which just like, those are like my confirmation cards. They're just like, yep, those are it. It's just like strong in tradition, strong in inner knowing and truth, right? In that belief. I love those cards, right? Let's see what's happening in the final outcome in terms of what's going on with your love life and your relationships. Ooh, we have the Ten of Swords in the future. So there's going to be some sense of you really overcoming this sense of defeat and surrendering to the universe, right? there's going to be irreversible endings that you'll face in the near future, but don't fear that, okay? You definitely have already traversed past the deception and the fear, the mental blocks, because you've already passed the 8 of Swords, right? The 9 of Swords, which is like all of those vibes of anxiety, nightmares, overthinking. You're already, I'm getting a sense that you've reached a level of acceptance, right? And that will come sometime around like significant numbers of like 731. So maybe the particular month, maybe July, March, right? January. I'm getting these vibes like when this is when you're going to finally overcome something. I feel like many of you are getting through this breakup energy, getting through broken relationship energy, and that's the final outcome. You're just like surrendering, right? Through the irreversible pains. I'm just gonna pull one more card for you because I'm just super curious what's over the hills for you as well, outside of just you surrendering and getting through that defeat and ruin that we're seeing here. Yeah. Ooh, 6 of Wands. That's interesting. For sure. You're gonna have a sense of victory through this defeat and surrendering, okay? And that's really just you recognizing your worth, recognizing and being very compassionate towards what it is that you desire. I'm almost getting like you're going to come across in such a way that almost like a strong sense of pride. You are rewarding yourself for overcoming this grief and manipulation and all of these negative frequencies of the past that didn't serve you in these relationships, this level of deceit, the hidden motives, the discord that was around you, okay? The sorrow, the heartbreak, the emotional pain, the hard truths, all of these things, you are overcoming it, and you're going to be rewarded with a level of self-love, self-compassion, okay? And this is really just going to be allowing you to open up and have new connections and partnerships with people, okay? You're going to have a stronger sense of feeling and desiring a sense of friendship, a strong sense of friendship that's equal and mutual, a sense of community that feels supportive, where you can gather and be yourself and your most authentic self even, and really have that sense of innocence come forth in your near future, your final outcome. That's what I'm sensing for you. So keep traversing forward, okay? And despite the negative energies of the past, you are healing and overcoming all the obstacles your way. And those are all the messages I have for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And if this reading resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and join our cozy community by subscribing. Until next time, trust your path and let the universe work its magic.